What's up, fam? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I was on YouTube and I seen this shit. Victim burnt alive survives long enough to solve her own murder case. Yeah, I wouldn't even say case. Shit, should've. Shit.
She burnt somebody probably set the cone for or something. I don't know. She had come out of the woods at my house.
That's the worst one I've seen. I couldn't believe she was still conscious and alert with the amount of burns she had.
What did she do that was so awful that she would die a torturous death like this? That's what we want to know.
I have nothing to do with nothing. That's my friend. That's my friend. I would
Whoa, what's going on?
On March 24th, 2010, a man named Terrence sat outside his home in Pensacola, Florida, enjoying the fresh night air. By all accounts, it was a perfect spring night. That is, until a faint voice rang out from the forest surrounding his home. At first,
You
Terrence
done?
couldn't make out
Thank you,
what
appreciate
it was
it.
saying, and then it came again. A panicked and pained moan. It was a woman calling out for help. Terrence couldn't have had the slightest idea of the gruesome crime that had just been committed against this woman. A crime so brutal that you may have trouble believing it.
In reference to the call, we're on scene and fire saying that the patient, she's got second-degree burns over 100% of her body, but she's saying that there was no vehicle involved, that people dragged her out of her house and set her on fire.
At first, through the forest shrouded in shadows, Terrence couldn't make out the woman calling for help. Moments later, when he finally could, he was horrified. A 19-year-old woman, Adriana Zimmerman, slowly stumbled toward him out of the darkness. Burns coated every inch of her skin, so severe that he couldn't make out the color of her skin or what.
Damn. Boy, I ain't gonna lie, being burnt alive? Bro, that's a different type of feeling, bro. Nah.
Wearing any clothes at all.
Oh.
Terrence called 911 while Adriana sought refuge on his porch.
911. What's going on out there? Somebody thought burn up. Her this lady on fire right now. She what? She burnt all up. You gotta. She burnt. Somebody probably set the cone for or something. I don't know. She had come out of the woods at my house.
As they waited for EMS to arrive,
Whoa.
Terrence noted that Adriana smelled heavily of gasoline, and there was a severe injury on her head in addition to the burns. Whatever she had endured had left her barely clinging to life. By 9:24 p.m., an EMT arrived at the scene to find Adriana sitting on the porch with her arms outstretched, rocking back and forth to soothe her pain. The extent of her burns meant that the EMT on the scene couldn't offer her much medical assistance. Even for a seasoned EMT, the sight was deeply disturbing.
Ooh.
She was kind of moaning. She was just in a sitting position, and the way she was looking was it hurt to move anywhere. So she was kind of in whatever position she was supposed to. It was in a sitting with her arms stuck straight out. She was moaning.
Bro, I'm picturing this shit, bro.
Her jaw was very
Bro, I'm picturing this shit, bro. It's probably all burnt. Damn, 80. Damn, boy.
stuck out.
And I know, you know that peeling off? You know when that shit like peeling? Like, oh.
You just got to stay there and try not to move for me.
Damn.
Really, with a burn victim like that, there's nothing much we can do until EMS gets there.
And your first experience when you saw her, what was your first thought?
That's the worst one I've seen. I couldn't believe she was still conscious.
Could only, I don't want to imagine, no.
Did you feel her condition was grave?
Yes, sir.
Damn.
From your experience and seeing what you've seen?
Yes, sir. Just from seeing that, plus the head trauma, the amount of head trauma she had to her face, I would not have expected her to make it through the night. She kept telling me I'm about to pass out. I'm about to pass out. So I told her to try to stay awake for me, and I wanted to get the info of the suspects before she passed out.
Fearing that she would never wake up if she passed out, the EMT got for all the information that he could about what happened to her. She managed to tell him that she'd been taken from her house, tased, beaten with a crowbar, and set on fire. En route to the hospital, the paramedic supervisor tended to Adriana's wound.
Bro, what the fuck did she do to... Bro, dog, what the fuck?
In their interview with the police, they disclosed heart-wrenching details of the ride to the hospital.
I told her keep fighting, and she kept saying over and over again, "Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it?" And I told her I was gonna try, and she said, "Just tell me I'm gonna wake up and see my babies."
Oh,
I
she
got
has
told to her, and I told
kids?
her that I was probably gonna be the last person she talked to for a while, and that in order to catch the people that did this to her, I needed her to tell me if she knew who it was. And I asked her why they did it to her, and she said, I thought we'd made up.
Without being able to give more details about the horror she had endured, Adriana was given morphine for her pain and fell into a coma. Investigators were desperate to find the perpetrators behind such a heinous crime. It wasn't long before they inferred that wading through all the convolution and getting to the heart of the horrific incident was going to be
Damn.
clear cut. This is Cypress Trail
Bro,
Memorial Park.
damn.
19-year-old Adriana had only lived for a few months before the horrific incident took place. Adriana moved to Florida with her children from her hometown of Lubbock, Texas. Her family, who lovingly nicknamed her Augie, missed her from the moment she left for the Sunshine State. She was a loving, dedicated mother to her 2 children, and her final words before she fell into a coma
Florida, dog.
En route to the hospital, barely clinging to life, she repeatedly asked the medical professionals to take care of her children and check on them since they were home alone. Mere hours after Adriana was taken to the hospital, law enforcement arrived at the trailer park. They knocked on Tina Brown's door at lot number 3 of the trailer park, where she lived with her 16-year-old daughter, Brittany Miller.
Damn, they got.
They knocked repeatedly at lot number
Why they had pictures of them for?
1, where Heather Lee resided with her husband, Darren Lee. For nearly an hour, no one responded, until finally, after incessant knocking, Heather answered. She, Darren, and Tina had been holed up inside her home the entire time. By then, the police had plenty of questions for them. Throughout the interrogations you're about to see, law enforcement is forced to wade through a sea of contradictions and lies created by suspects who were seemingly racing each other to dry land. That race to escape began the moment Heather Lee was put in a cop car to be brought back to the station for questioning. The following footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor and a licensed attorney.
It's cold in here. All right, what time? It's cold back here. Can you tell me what's going on? Huh? Can you tell me what's going on? Just hang tight, could you? Okay.
After setting Heather in the car, the police leave her alone for another 20 minutes. She fidgets anxiously in the back seat.
I want to quickly share what for me has been a hugely positive habit, and that's speaking
She
to
fidgeting folk.
using BetterHelp.
What's your full name? Heather.
H-E-A-T.
H-E-R.
You work anywhere?
No, sir, not.
She got a big ass forehead.
Several witnesses and neighbors interviewed allege that many people in the trailer park sold illegal substances or allegedly worked as escorts.
Whoa.
Tina, Heather, Adriana, and their partners. In the
Oh.
months leading up to the battery of Adriana.
Oh, this is about like a pimp.
Ross visited the trailer park 25 times.
Whoa.
This time would prove to be the most ghastly, heartbreaking visit of all.
What is going on?
Okay. Well, first of all, we're investigating a battery here with your neighbor there behind you.
Adriana?
I guess. The lady lives behind you. Listen to me now.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay. I just see Adriana earlier today.
My name is Investigator Watts. I'm with the Sheriff's Office. And we were called out here on aggravated some type of disturbance tonight, okay, where your neighbor was critically injured, and you have been implicated, maybe having some knowledge or information, or even being involved. Okay. I have to ask you some questions, but before I ask you any questions, I'm going to have to advise you your rights, okay?
The detective reads Heather her Miranda rights. She accepts them rather calmly, but her calmness and patience will start to wane as the police begin to really question her.
First of all, tell me, do you know the situation we're talking about here?
No, sir. That's why I keep asking what's going on.
Okay. Where have you been all afternoon? What have you been doing?
I've been here at the house. I was cooking. I see Adriana earlier today.
Who?
Adriana, my neighbor. She was down this way by my aunt's house talking with us earlier. And then I had one back in the house. I cooked and I laid down after that.
Okay, is anybody in the house with you?
Nobody but my husband. He was in there asleep.
That's your
In
husband?
bed, yes.
Y'all, it's just two of y'all live there?
Yeah. My kids are with my mom.
Okay, this girl was taken from her house and beaten up. Okay?
Okay. I seen her earlier today. She told me that she had a date. That's all she told me. And I asked her who it was. She was riding the bike up and down Detroit. And I asked her when she went that way, I said, where do you keep going when you go that way? She kept saying Fowler. But she would never tell me where I'm Fowler. And then she said, girl, I got a hot date tonight.
It's interesting that Heather immediately provides information to deflect the interest away from herself and toward the supposed hot date.
Do you know the lady lives in lot 3 back there?
Tina, yes, I know Tina. All of us know each other out here. I met her when she first moved out
Okay, how long has she been here?
here. I'm not quite sure. It's been a couple
You
months.
knew her.
So. She ain't been living out here no longer than a year.
Okay, where did you go tonight before we got here?
Tonight?
Tonight? Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere.
So you've been in your house?
I've been here and down by Tina's house and by my aunt's house and back here. I was here cooking. My other aunt, my mom's sister, came around here, her and the kids. And I was in there cooking fish and fry. And it's still on the stove.
Heather telling the officer that the fish is still on the stove is an attempt to prove that she's being truthful. In reality, her desperation to provide evidence of her activities only makes her look more suspicious.
That's true.
People who are innocent
Yeah.
often don't feel such a stark need to back their story up. In just a moment, you'll see her try to validate her whereabouts even more by listing people who can provide her with an alibi. Take note of just how many times she does this.
I won't sit here and believe what you're saying, but we're getting information. You know what's going on here. You and Tina.
I don't know anything about what's going on here. Like I said, I was here at the house. My mom called me on my cell phone. I talked to my mom. My aunt came here, her, the kids, my two cousins was in the car with me.
God damn.
Down in the 4th trailer, she seen me today. My Uncle Charles
So
seen me
you're
today.
sitting here and telling me that you and Tina, y'all didn't have a problem with this girl back there?
I didn't have no problem with Adriana. I've been hanging out with Adriana every day. All of us been hanging out together.
You and Tina didn't jump on her?
No, I didn't do nothing to Adriana. I would not harm a hair on her head.
Heather's protesting that she couldn't have been involved because she would never hurt any part of Adriana is known as a convincing statement. This type of statement is often a sign of deception, as a truthful person's first instinct would likely be to outright deny an allegation, rather than try to convince the person posing the question of something.
I had to protect her once before.
From who?
Because her and some girls was getting into it. And I stopped them from jumping on. Other than that, I haven't had any problems with her. Her kids, I always have her kids with me. Me and Adriana is just like that. Ever since she moved out here, we became friends.
Here, Heather's palm seems to be facing up as she's speaking. The palm-up position is not very affirmative, and it suggests that the speaker is asking or pleading to be believed. This may indicate that she's feeling uncertain about the statement she just made.
Hey, what type of psychology this guy do?
They went with me to get my hair done and everything.
Yeah, skip through all this
I
shit.
seen her this morning, and then I seen her about 2 and about 3.
Where'd you see her at?
I seen her down this way by my aunt's house. She was
You-
right
you
down
were
this
down
way.
there?
Yeah, she was right down there.
That's when you were down there when you saw her?
Yeah.
Those
And she
three?
came with the
So
car.
you're saying you saw her 3 different times today?
Yes, I seen her
And
today.
she was down there?
She was down
all
there. She
3
was
times.
talking to me.
Is that all you know about this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I put that on everything I
And
know.
you swear that the statement you gave me is the truth to the best of
Yes,
your knowledge?
sir. Yes, sir. Adriana is my friend.
You didn't get anything? No, sir. All right.
The police conclude their interview, but what Heather requests next is very telling and makes her look even more suspicious.
I want to see her.
See who?
Adriana.
Well, that's not going to be possible right now. Guys, where you found her? Would you tell me if you knew what happened?
Yes, sir, I would. That's my friend.
Okay. All right, we'll be back with you in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Once more, Heather is left in the car. She shifts uncomfortably and sniffles, wiping her tears until it seems she cannot take the anxiety brewing inside of her any longer. While to some her next actions may seem to be those of a desperate friend, To others, they likely appear to be those of a suspect trying to feign concern.
Baby! I wanted to know what's going on. Huh? I wanted to know what's going on.
Didn't the investigator tell you already?
Yeah, they told me that, but...
Okay, well, I can't tell you any more than what they told you, sweetheart.
Alright, they didn't tell me I was under arrested or...
No, you're not under arrest.
Okay, now, how can I find out where can I go see her at?
You just got to wait, okay?
And then when they all get done, I can find out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You have people come in here. He wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Meet Darren Lee, Heather's husband. He's no stranger to run-ins with law enforcement, having been convicted of 2 prior felonies in 2001, including battery and sale of a controlled substance.
Whoa.
As soon as he's put in the car, it seems that the couple begins retracing their steps in a discreet way to ensure her and Darren's stories are aligned once they're separated for questioning. This early in the investigation, we can only speculate as to the reason behind Heather and Darren having been placed in the vehicle together. It's possible that law enforcement just needs to secure them for the time being. However, it's also a possibility that officers are intent on capturing what the two might inadvertently disclose.
Yeah.
The camera is running.
That's right. What you did then? That's what they told me.
They said, real estate would have some questions or something.
Okay, what?
Would have some questions. I told them before that, Block and Brown came by and ate some fish with them. Told them that y'all may leave. But she said that you told them that we were asleep.
I told her that I was just in there asleep.
Oh, they trying to get their story lined up. Oh, damn, boy. Oh. Damn, they beat that girl.
And I was right there on the couch. The Block and Brown came by.
Get $700 back on Google Pixel 8 Pro on Google Fi Wireless. No trade-in required. This is Pixel 8 Pro.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. Why I'm not doing this. If you want to come to that's where enough question. Y'all is in charge of that shit. You don't have to ask questions.
I ain't got no problem with going. Like I told him. I seen Adriana earlier today.
Been talking about the gas can and everything, you know.
What gas can?
Gas can from the, on the floor.
The gas. No gas can been on the porch. I don't even know who gas can is it.
I told them Jerry's. Jerry's.
I don't know who gas can those is.
Heather's reaction to Darren mentioning the police taking gas cans off their porch is rather frantic and over the top.
No gas can been on the porch. I don't even know who gas can is it.
Especially considering the fact that at this time, officers had not even disclosed that Adriana was burned.
I ain't know what the hell was going on. They told me I just seen her today. And now they saying she in intensive care. I seen her before it got dark.
Alright, man.
She asked me for that day today.
I'm gonna give you about a minute more, say your things, and we fixing to go. I need to talk to you real quick. Alright? I'll give you about a minute more. Say goodbye.
Hey, if I'm on arrest,
You are not free to go at this time, so you can consider whatever you want to consider. You're not free to go right now.
okay,
Alright?
okay.
They gonna hold you 48 hours or something. I don't know. You
Whoa.
are.
48 hours.
I think you were detained at this time. How about that? So we get a chance to talk to you. Okay? They just want to talk to you.
Oh,
The two are being detained as the officer has reasonable suspicion that there is criminal activity afoot, or evidence of criminal activity to be found through the temporary detention and questioning of the individuals. A detention is different than an arrest, which requires that the officer has probable cause to believe a crime has in fact been committed, was in the process of commission, or was about to be committed. The standard for probable cause is higher than that of reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion must be based on specific and articulable facts, combined with rational inferences from those facts, and the suspicion must be associated with a specific individual or individuals being detained.
They're trying to get me involved in where it happened with them. Told me, oh, nobody ain't seen that dog goddamn thing. You get my phone and call Gene.
The Gene that Heather is referring to is an attorney who she will be asking for rather frantically soon. After this, Heather, Tina, and Darren were brought to the station for further questioning. However, there was still one person missing whom cops desperately wanted to speak with, 16-year-old Brittany Miller, Tina's daughter. Tina told police that earlier Brittany had left for the hospital with her friends, Jessica and Mallory, in Tina's maroon SUV. Brittany had hurt her hand, though Tina told investigators that she didn't know how. Investigators searched the area for Brittany and the SUV, but their initial searches proved fruitless. Brittany's name, car make, and model, and her physical description were broadcast to all patrol units in a desperate attempt to find her. Without Brittany in custody, back at the station, the thorough questioning of Tina, Heather, and Darren began. On top of their stories contrasting with one another, even their demeanors in the interrogation rooms were wildly different. You have Heather, who is clearly distressed.
Officer!
Crashing out.
Yes, ma'am.
Please give me a nurse or something.
For what?
I don't feel good.
I wouldn't be feeling good either.
Whoa.
I'm having an anxiety attack. I have anxiety attacks.
I've already called. They're supposed to be coming back to you. Okay? That's all I can do right this moment.
Okay.
Lieutenant Sheriff, then set your head down on that desk. And just breathe right. Okay?
Okay. Please let me go. Please. Please let it be alright. Please let it be alright. Please let it be alright.
That's crazy.
Heather's anxiety is tangible in the 30 minutes she's left alone in the interrogation room.
But she definitely knows something, bro. I'm not gonna lie, she for sure knows something. Just don't know what it is.
As you'll see shortly when her interrogation continues, she has every reason to be anxious. Her husband, on the other hand, didn't seem entirely concerned when he was interrogated, even casually chatting with someone on the phone beforehand.
Oh, God. No, man, I'm alright. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling, man. I'm cold right now. In use. Oh, you already know that. I'm really trying to do, but I'm trying to get them. You ready, man? 477. Yeah. I'm for real. I'm calling you right back, man. I did not just got Listen. My bad. I don't know, man. He's gonna take my phone. You done? Yeah. Alright.
And then there's Tina, sitting emotionless in the interrogation room while she waits for police to question her.
Boy, hey, working, boy.
Did you grab a phone? Oh. How you doing? I'm Investigator Lee Tyree, and this is Investigator Tom Watts.
After this, the police remind everyone of their rights now that they are officially in the interrogation rooms. An important thing to note is that Tina was the first to be interrogated, followed by Heather. Take a look at how their stories compare. Even their initial retellings of why they didn't answer the door don't align.
I've been talking to you for a few minutes. I was kind of trying to find out why you weren't answering the door when we came to your house this evening. You explained that you saw the cops and that you were nervous about that. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
We were just watching movies.
Okay, so you, Darren, and Tina were sitting in the living room. Heather were sitting there in the living room watching movies. And when the cops knocked on the door, what'd y'all do?
We were sitting there.
Okay. Why didn't you answer the door?
It ain't my door.
Okay. Did they do anything special when the cops knocked on the door? Turn out the lights, turn off
The lights
TV?
were already off because we were being nosy, looking out the window, seeing what's going on next door.
Okay, so you saw the cops next door first. Were the lights on before the cops came over next door?
Yeah.
And then y'all turned them off when they came over next
Yeah,
door?
you can see better with the lights off. You don't see
Okay.
nobody looking back at you.
Tina haven't been at my house all night.
Okay, so you sitting there in the living room watching movies. Tina hasn't been at your house?
She haven't been at my house all night.
Where was she at?
She came in. She came and knocked on the door, and I got up. She said the police was out there.
Okay.
And I just laid there.
Did she
I
come
was
in?
on the couch. I just laid there because I was asleep.
Did she ever come in the house after she told you the police was there?
She came in the house, and she sat down.
In your house?
Yeah, she sat on my couch.
And what did she?
And I asked her what was going on, and she told me she didn't know.
I'm confused here because Darren told me that you and Tina were there and cooking all night.
Tina was there when I was cooking earlier,
Okay.
but she wasn't out there all night.
Where'd she go?
She had left. She told me she was going home.
Okay. About what time was that?
It was what time I was cooking. It was getting dark when I was cooking, and I stopped cooking about 6 or 7.
So Tina left around 6 or 7?
Yeah, she left.
Okay.
The time's fucking her up.
Come to your house.
She came back probably like 30 minutes to an hour later.
So she was gone for 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And she comes back and the cops show up right at the same time?
She came in. She said the cops outside.
Did you see the cops outside that time?
I got up and I looked and I seen the lights. You can see the spotlights. I see the spotlights.
And were they?
Were they watching a movie?
Outside.
Are they outside?
They was outside the Tina house.
They were outside Tina's
Yes,
house.
they was outside Tina's
Were
house.
they outside of Adriana's house at all, or no?
When I had came out, they was outside Adriana's house.
Okay, that's
When they knocked on the
that's
door
when
and
you
I
answered
came.
the door.
Yeah, when I
And
answered
you
the
didn't
door.
answer the door for like an hour.
They didn't knock on my door.
Oh yeah, they beat on that door.
Not on lot 1 they did because I was laying right there on the couch and I didn't hear no locks.
Even your husband said they beat on the door and you wasn't going to answer the door. And then Tina said they beat on the door and y'all didn't answer.
I got up.
It seems Heather is facing what is known as the prisoner's dilemma. This occurs when 2 or more individuals who are involved in a crime are isolated from one another and urged to confess to the crime. Each is concerned only with receiving the shortest possible prison sentence, and each must decide whether to confess without knowing what decision the other or others will make.
And Tina said, hold on, don't answer the door. And I asked her why.
Nah, she's blaming on the other one.
We're getting a big diversity in this story.
And I'm gonna tell you like it is. Adriana is my friend. I would never hurt her. Tina came to my house and she told me not to answer my door. I asked her why. She said, because the cops is out there.
Heather's emphasis points are extremely off here when she states she's my friend, then hits the table, followed by I would never hurt her, and strikes the table again. You can actually see and hear how her nonverbal emphasis does not naturally line up with her words as it should. This is widely recognized as an indicator of deception.
And then she asked me, she said, where are the cops at? I said, they down there by your house. Why you keep asking me where the cops at? And she would never say. She started back.
Nervous?
She was acting nervous. She started back puffing on a cigarette.
Did she look like she was been running, or did she look like she'd been in a fight?
She was acting normal.
Notice that Heather's palm is up here, which may be an indication once again that she's unsure of the story she's telling and asking to be believed.
Let me ask you a question.
She was acting normal.
You said when we asked.
And I said, Tina, you seen Adriana tonight? She said, no, I haven't seen it.
And she didn't tell you why she didn't want you to answer the door.
She didn't say anything about why not to answer the door.
But she did tell you not to answer the door.
Yeah. And I told her, I said,
I ain't gonna lie, the other female, she do look like that type though.
And then I got up and I said,
yeah, what's the other one? I forgot the other one's name. Tina, I think. Yeah, she was thinking the whole time. Yeah,
who is it?
Yo, what's that sound?
Open the door.
What was Darren
She was laying at the bottom of the couch watching TV.
And you're absolutely sure of this?
Yes, sir. I am sure.
Because this story is a lot different than Tina's story.
I am sure.
As the investigator has pointed out, Heather's story is wildly different from her husband's.
Okay, so you were sleeping until about 7, so you don't know anything prior to that. Okay. And your wife tells me this story about Tina coming in, saying the cops are outside, and that y'all look out and you see the cops surrounding Miss Zimmerman's trailer, and she says for y'all not to answer the door. Now, I don't recall any of that conversation going on in yours. Now, I do remember you saying y'all didn't answer the door because it was police. Tell me about that.
Damn.
I don't want to say the police was out there.
Okay, so you don't recall Tina coming in and saying that the police are outside?
Tina was already in the house.
Because your wife tells us that you and her at home alone, Tina comes barreling in and saying, hey, the cops are outside, and y'all see the cops outside, and Tina's saying, don't answer the door.
No, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what
Damn.
she told us. Your wife.
I'm telling you that's a lie.
Okay.
Damn.
Why was she
That
lying to
nigga
us?
don't give a fuck.
I mean, she was distraught. She was crying. She was telling us this story. She seemed like
emotional.
Well, emotional, but she also seemed sincere.
I ain't gonna lie, this nigga's a fucking pimp. Bro, this nigga, he ain't give a fuck. That nigga the whole time got his phone and shit.
It's possible that Heather is lying in order to make Tina look bad and compromise her alibi. Though clearly, she and Darren aren't on the same page about that plan.
Obviously, know something's up.
Yeah.
So, tell me what happened tonight.
Nothing happened that I know of.
Notice how Tina is rubbing her neck, which is a major red flag. It's obvious that she's feeling very insecure and apprehensive. Neck massaging in general is a calming response. In addition, rubbing the vagus nerve near the side of the neck, close to where a pulse is taken, actually results in the release of acetylcholine, which sends signals to the heart to slow down a person's heart rate. However, this isn't to say she's guilty, as she's clearly in a stressful situation, but it's also an important tell to take note of.
See your arms and hands if I could. Okay? Can I see the top signs? Okay. Those old scars on there?
Yeah, I have a puppy.
Okay, and what's this right here? That little scratch there.
This?
Yeah.
I have a puppy.
Okay, your puppy caused that?
Look, I'm going to move here.
Got your chin? Okay.
All
Alright. So, where were you tonight?
At Heather's.
At Heather's house?
Well, I was at home. My daughter's braiding my hair, so I was at home, but it started hurting, and her little friends started coming by.
Remember what Tina has said here about her daughter braiding her hair. It will prove to be quite important as the investigation continues.
So Heather said she was going to cook, so I went down there, and she was cooking fish and french fries, and then we just started watching movies.
Okay. And did you go anywhere from there?
Mm-mm.
You were there all night until the cops came up there?
Mm-hmm.
Tina has put her hand to her mouth here. Whether conscious or not, many individuals will attempt to hide their lie by physically covering the source of their deception.
What time did you go over there?
Probably just started getting dark.
Okay, so about sunset, you go over to Heather's.
Mm-hmm.
Was anybody over at Heather's house when you went over there?
Just Heather and her husband.
Do you know what happened to Adriana tonight?
No, I don't. Heather just said she got beat up, but that's all I
A
know.
little bit more than that. And what was Darren doing while y'all over there cooking? Anything?
Laid on the couch watching movies.
Okay. All right, but you were home all night. You didn't see any kind of disturbance going on over there before the cops came over there or anything?
No, we would have heard something.
You said you saw Adriana earlier today?
Mm-hmm.
What time was that?
Adriana was coming and going on a bicycle.
Okay. You remember the last time you saw her? Was it while you were still over at Heather and Darren's?
I didn't come back out when I went to their house. We were cooking there.
Okay. So it had been before sunset.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw her during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And once you went over to Heather and Darren's, you never left there?
No.
You didn't go get anything or go anywhere at all?
I don't think so.
Notice that Tina's been asked several times if she went anywhere that night, not even 12 hours prior to this interrogation taking place.
You seem kind of lackadaisical about this. We're going to go out there. We know what happened out there. It's just going to be a matter of getting fingerprints and evidence back, okay?
Out where? It happened at her house?
No, it didn't.
It started at her house.
Right.
And then it went somewhere else.
What started at her house?
The reason we're here.
Well, we got some issues, okay? And we're going to get to the bottom of it one way or another, okay? So, we're sitting here talking to you, and I certainly appreciate, and I know Tom appreciates that you're talking to us. But we got to get to the bottom of this, and we got to know what happened, the truth. And, you know, there's two choices here. Either
That's
you're
a
going
lot
to
of
tell us,
hell.
or Heather's going to tell us. So, who's going to be?
Tina is continuing to show signs of high anxiety, evidenced by her face, neck, and chin rubbing. It's unfortunate that the officer is throwing out questions at such a rapid pace.
And we back in this shit.
Most of them.
Here's one thing you
Damn, that's crazy.
online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
I didn't do anything to her.
Okay.
Promise to God.
And you were home all night.
Was at Heather's house.
Okay. You were at Heather's all night. Never left there. Because, see, the story between Heather and Darren is already shaky. And your story is the third version of what they've told us so far.
Y'all ain't get your story straight.
There's pieces and parts
Lacking.
that are the same, but they aren't exactly the same. Okay?
Fucked up.
It concerns me. It sounds a little too good, and then the parts that are breaking up, I don't understand why they're not saying the same thing. Okay? And so, we need to get to the bottom of this. And somebody's life may end over this. We're getting told that she's in pretty critical condition at this point and not likely to make it. So that's why we're here.
Do you understand what he's saying? Not likely to make it.
Yeah, she's about to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
That changed gears. When she dies, it's going to change gears. Okay?
I didn't do anything to her.
Okay. I don't want you to tell me anything other than the truth. Okay?
I didn't do it.
Okay. Still got a problem. Got anything?
If you know anything and you're withholding it, you want to be the first one on board. You see what I'm talking about? Because once we get everybody, all the information, there's not going to be second chances. And like I said, if she doesn't make it,
you're trying to be sleeping with a lot of guys around there.
What'd she say?
You're trying to be sleeping with a lot of guys around there.
I realize that.
Well, they could have did it. They didn't do it. I promise to God.
While Tina maintains that she had nothing to do with the attack, Heather takes a much different approach. Their behaviors are as different as their stories are. and they only grow more dramatic as the interrogations continue.
Oh, I hate it. Go grab one across the hall. Sugar, you alright?
You know, worried about Audra.
Yeah, I am too. I'm very worried about Adriana.
My friend.
That hurt,
That's why.
man.
I don't know. I seen her earlier today. It seemed like everything was alright when I seen her today.
Let me tell you a little bit what's going on, okay? We did get a chance to talk to Adriana before she went to the hospital.
Yes.
She told us a few things. She told us who did this to her.
Yes, sir.
She told us where they took her and what they did to her.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think I'm talking to you?
Ooh.
I would never hurt her. I always have protected her when she got into it with people in that trailer park.
Heather's statement here left investigators wondering about what kind of things everyone in the trailer park were getting into with each other, and what motive it may have provided for brutally attacking Adriana.
But she's also, your friend told us you did this to her.
Whoa.
We didn't go over what you did tonight, okay?
Yes, sir.
We just talked to your other friend,
Yes,
Tina
sir.
Brown. Is that your friend too?
Yes, all of in the trailer park.
And how about her daughter, Brittany?
Brittany.
Where were y'all tonight?
I was at home when y'all came. When they came to the house, I was
Oh.
right there in the same spot. They on their couch
I
going to sleep.
absolutely believe you were at home when we came over there. Where were you maybe half an hour, 45 minutes before that?
I was at home. I was
Okay.
at home. My aunt came from my house. I was in the house cooking.
You know what time
and
your aunt came by?
watching movies. It was almost dark. It was almost dark.
Okay, well, we came over to
But she did it.
knock on your door about
Yo.
almost dark and 10 o'clock at night, so big deal.
Cause her own husband is not fucking with it.
Lady in trailer park. That's my aunt. She seen me. Jerry.
And I ain't gonna lie,
A lot of more people.
bro. The people who be doing it for real be the ones saying like, this person seen me, this person, cause they didn't already probably playing that shit. So, bro, I can only imagine. But damn, I don't know. You never know with these type of investigations.
Listen to me.
You see me
About dark and 10 o'clock, there's a lot of hours in there.
I was right there on that couch.
Okay. So that's where you're saying you were
Yeah,
right on that couch.
Graham and Block came to my house. They were laying down watching TV with us.
Okay. Anybody else come by your house?
My aunt.
Yo, going back, it low key makes sense because she did say, bruh, she tried to throw somebody else out. Tina tried to point like Tina was lying so her husband could have her back, but it ended up playing it the other way. Well, yeah, the other way, because her husband ended up saying, nah, that bitch is lying, and Tina not. Okay. That bitch knows something.
My cousin Kizzy, the little baby Junior came by. Graham came by. Block came by. Jared was at my house.
Listen to me. And what time did they get by and what time did they leave?
It was dark when Jared came by there. He always comes down there and asks me for cigarettes.
What's Jerry's first and last name?
His name is Jerry Johnson. That's my uncle. And my aunt name is Terry Smith.
We talked to them at the scene, I believe, didn't we?
They stayed down in the trailer floor.
I think we got statements from them down at the end. My recollection was they didn't see her this evening.
It was about 2 and 3.
I don't care about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I care about tonight.
That's the only time I see Audrey, and I haven't seen her since then.
2 or 3 in the afternoon doesn't matter. What time did your aunt and Terry Smith come by?
Terry was at home. Her son came down. I asked him to go over to the store to get me some fish fry.
Okay, that's before you start cooking. That's before dark.
Yeah.
After dark, after you cooked, after dark, who comes by?
Jerry was the only one came down. He came down for a cigarette.
Jerry Johnson.
Yes, he came
And you remember about what time that was?
I'm not sure what time it was, but he came for a cigarette.
And it was dark.
Yes, he asked me for a cigarette. I gave him a cigarette.
Okay.
I've been at the house all that time, and I've been trying to find out where she was at. Everybody telling me they didn't know where she was at.
Heather, Why would you be wondering where she's at?
Cause she always hang out with me every night. We always hang out every night, and I feed her kids and everything.
The last thing she told us was you came in there along with your friends, dragged her out of that house.
I put down everything I love. I put down my
And
children
burned her.
life. Burned her?
Yeah. And that's the
Oh
last
my
thing she told
God.
us.
Burned her?
Yes.
See, I ain't know nothing about her being burned.
So tell me, what went on tonight?
I didn't see her tonight. I see her earlier and I've been at my house.
It seems fair to say that detectives aren't buying her story.
Wait.
This only becomes more clear as additional horrible facts and evidence come to light.
But she was the only friend I was closest to.
Now, Heather, you know, this is all, when he talked to you earlier and all that, you wasn't upset like this. Why are you upset now?
I was crying because I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was
you watch all that
intensive
video?
care. The lady told me she was intensive care and everything.
There's video of you in that car talking to your husband, and you ain't talking like this.
He was asking me, did I see her today? I told him I seen her earlier today.
You know, we watched the video too, and we saw how you answered this question.
I don't care. I didn't have anything. I'm upset because this is my friend. We talking about this is my friend. You said that's gonna die. This is my friend. You say gonna die. That's why I'm upset because you telling me my friend's gonna die. I've been protecting her. I've been protecting her. I've been talking to her mom every time she get into it with them.
Who you got to protect her from?
Because she been getting into it with Tina and everybody.
Okay, so what's her and Tina got a beef over? Tina said they get along fine.
Me and Andrea be just like that.
What's wrong with Tina's the one hanging out at your house tonight, right?
Yes, all of us is friends, but she wanted me to go out of town with her to be her mom. And I promised her I was gonna go with her. I promised her I was gonna go with her to see her mom. I was trying to help her get some money to get home to her mom. But she didn't have anybody here to call.
At the time Adriana was attacked, she was trying to leave Florida and return home to her mother, where she could get a fresh start at a healthy life. It's tragic that that opportunity was taken away from her. Whether Heather was actually trying to help her is uncertain, but there's no doubt Heather's hoping presenting herself like a savior to Adriana will make her look less guilty.
When I asked you about Adriana and her date, you said he was supposed to come pick her up, is what she told you. And then you said you were sitting at your house and you saw a set of headlights come down
You
the
can see
driveway.
headlights coming in.
But you didn't pay no attention to it.
No. So I don't know if
Now, wait,
he picked
listen.
her up or what.
Okay.
But I seen
Tina,
it.
let's get back to Tina. Was she at your house at that time?
When the headlights came in, no, she was not at my house.
Okay.
She was not at my house.
Did you ever see?
And lie and say
No,
she was.
we're not asking you to lie, but what did you see those headlights leave?
I seen them came in, they went down, and then the headlights came back up.
Came back. How long did they stay down there?
They had went down and was down for like 10 minutes. And then they came back up.
So you
I can lay right there on my couch by the door and I can see headlights coming in.
So what kind of car it went to?
No, I didn't never look at the
So
window.
you didn't get up and look and see where the car went?
I didn't never get up to see where it went, but I can see the headlights coming in through my front window, and I can see the headlights coming back out through my window on the side where Adriana trailer is.
Okay.
What kind of car does Brittany have?
Brittany don't have a car.
Okay. Was she riding around in a car tonight? Did you see her car? Was she riding with her friends?
I didn't see her tonight.
Soon after Heather was interrogated, the police returned to question Tina more. With Heather's testimony, they have some new ways to confront Tina.
The stories are changing.
It's interesting that Tina is sitting with her arms in her shirt, which isn't something we typically see with adults. We do know, however, that a fight or flight response can cause extremities to feel extremely cold.
So, you had time to think about it. Where were you tonight?
At home and at Heather's house.
Okay. When did you go to Heather's house?
Like, when it started getting dark.
When it started getting dark.
About sunset.
And you stayed over there the rest of the night till the cops got there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Because that ain't the story I'm getting.
Okay.
You don't care, huh?
I didn't go anywhere.
Heather's saying you're gone for half an hour to an hour tonight.
I was not gone for no
After
half
dinner.
an hour to an hour.
And you come back right before the cops are over there. Cops are over there around 10 o'clock. So from 9 to 10, I got you unaccounted for. So why is it that Heather's saying that your daughter didn't come by her house, that she went by your house?
Who went by my house?
Your daughter.
My daughter was at my house, supposedly.
Okay.
She came to Heather's
She
house.
We asked her if Brittany came by her house at all today, and she said no. She said the only time she saw Brittany right after school at your house, and that's the only time she saw her today.
But maybe she didn't see her. I saw Brittany. When they asked who was at the door, Brittany said, "It's me, Mama." I opened the door. I went outside.
Trust me, she's cooperating with this as far as when we asked her stuff, and we asked her specifically.
They about to
Was Brittany
make
at
them
your house
fight
today?
each other.
At my house?
At her house. I'm talking to Heather at this point.
Okay.
And Heather's saying no.
She was
And
not
I asked
inside
Heather
of Heather's house.
I asked Heather if you were over at her house, and she said yes. She came over around dinner time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said you left for half an hour to an hour, and that when you come back, you come in a hurry, nervous, saying the cops are outside. Don't answer the door.
Fucking back hurt, bro.
Why is Heather telling me this?
You tell me. If me and Heather were together doing this, then how is Heather going to be already in the house and I'm not in the house?
Don't know.
It seems the detectives are trying to turn Tina against Heather by making Tina think they believe Heather may be innocent. This only stokes Tina's frustration more, as you're about to see.
The problem I got.
Who the fuck did
The
it?
story between you and Heather keeps getting.
Shit long as hell.
I have not changed
Fuck.
no minds. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing at all. That's the truth. That's the truth, and that's the truth, okay?
Okay.
Nothing's changed from what I told you. Now, you have it? Nothing at all.
The divide between Tina and Heather was growing. Investigators had enough contradictions between the suspects' stories that the alarm bells were now deafening. When they finally got word that Brittany's car had been located behind the house early in the morning, they brought Brittany in for questioning. Tina hadn't seen her daughter since she left for the hospital. Her panic when she thinks she sees Brittany in the hallway at the station before Brittany's first interview is evident.
Is that my daughter?
Come on. No, that's the girl the other girl is with you. Come on.
That's my daughter.
That is not your daughter. You need to step back in here.
Brittany.
It's not Brittany. Jesus.
I thought
Have a seat.
She was supposed. But I ain't gonna lie, Brittany was supposed to probably just dip, never came back type beat. She probably didn't want her hooked into that shit.
That's my baby, y'all. They're doing that too. She didn't do nothing. Ooh. He probably tell her all kind of lies.
Is she afraid her daughter is about to reveal some incriminating information to detectives? Here in the state of Florida, when a minor is taken into custody, efforts must be made to contact a parent or guardian. But generally speaking, an interrogation can take place, and this is likely not going to be favorable for Tina or her daughter. According to 16-year-old Brittany, she hung out with her friends Jessica and Mallory after school until late into the night, at which point they left for the hospital. Her story of why the trip was necessary and why her right hand was now in a cast is interesting, to say the least. When police ask her to sign a paper indicating that she's been read her rights, she struggles to sign because of her broken pinky finger, bringing even more attention to the mysterious injury.
Okay, I have to sign with my left hand.
Okay. What'd you do to your hand?
I broke my pinky. It's really sloppy.
Yeah, just do the best you can. Why is it that you think you may be here? I know we talked to your mom last night. Did she tell you? What have you been told?
That they think that we did something to our next door neighbor,
To who?
Adriana.
Adriana? What is it that you think happened? Have you been told at all?
That I don't know. We used to hang out real good. We used to be real close.
and then we just stopped hanging out.
Just stopped? Did y'all have any beefs or anything like that? When was the last time you talked to her?
Yesterday, around 4 o'clock, probably, because she was riding a bike. And I just asked her where was she going with the bike. She said she was just going to ride.
Short conversation?
Yeah, it was short. That was it.
Brittany explains that she said hi to Adriana when she met her friend Mallory outside Brittany's home before the girls entered.
Went in the house and I started braiding my mom's hair. And then that's when my other friend came over and lived next door to me. And she started saying I was hurting her head and stuff, so we stopped. And then she left to go down to Heather's house. And me and my other friends, we just stayed there. Just listening to music, dance, watch movies.
Who was at the house with you dancing and watching movies?
Mallory and Jessica.
Mallory and Jessica? Is that it?
Yep.
Brittany explains that Jessica lives next door. The activities began around 5 o'clock that evening, she claims, and they continued into the night.
About what time did everybody leave?
They stayed the night. Mallory stayed the night, but Jessica, she went home. She went home about 6 o'clock in the morning because we was at the hospital.
Broke your hand?
Yeah.
Tell me how that happened.
Mallory, we were in my room cleaning up my room, and I asked Mallory to toss me my key. And when she went to toss it, I went like that to try to catch him, and that's when I hit like the corner of the door right there. And that's how I broke it.
In your bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
About what time did that happen?
Around 1 o'clock, 1:30, and that's when we left to go to the emergency room.
About 1 or 1:30?
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to keep it together with Bamboo HR. Sign up for a free trial now.
Bro, 2 ads? Man, I know people get paid from this.
And I went to the house, and I told my mom I messed up my arm, and she told me to just go ahead and drive myself to the hospital.
So you took yourself up there?
Yes.
Brittany claims that Jessica and Mallory went to the hospital with her.
And you talked to your mom about hurting your hand before you left?
Mm-hmm. I told her I went down, when I heard it, I went down to Heather's house to where she was at, and I showed it to her. And I told her I heard it, and she said, just go ahead and go to the hospital.
Damn. 16-year-old?
And that's when we left.
So the only times I'm really missing is from about 6 to 1. Y'all danced and watched movies from 6 p.m. to 1? Until you hurt your hand?
Yep.
Did y'all ever go outside the house?
Mm-mm.
Nobody saw y'all outside your house?
Nope.
Did you ever walk down the road to any of the trailers?
Nope.
What time did your mom wind up coming home?
I don't know actually, because I was asleep once I came back from the hospital. I went in her room and I went to sleep. And that's when I got woken up by the police.
Oh, they have a cute dog.
That you really concentrate on what you're telling us, because it is on tape.
Mm-hmm.
Because your times are not adding up.
Okay.
Because you weren't there at your house between 6 and 1. We know that for a fact.
We were out there all night.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this ain't something we need to even ask anybody else. Mm-hmm. And it's important you tell us the truth about that, because something that minor, if you want to fib about that. You understand what we're saying?
But that's why I've been at the hospital.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. What a 16-year-old. I ain't gonna let these 16-year-olds be crazy, though. But damn, what type of beef? Growing up, what type of beef is this?
You know you went to West Florida Hospital, but you didn't stay.
Yeah. They were taking too long, so we went to the other one. That's where we're just not
And
getting
you stayed
home.
there, you went immediately to the other one?
Mm-hmm.
We know that's not true.
Whoa.
Well, that's where I went, so
I mean, you weren't home.
Whoa.
then I was at the hospital.
No, you were at the hospital at 1 o'clock. You just said.
Mm-hmm. So West Florida.
Where was you before that?
At home.
You know what time we picked your mother up? Like at 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock. So we were at your trailer. Your mother went inside. We got the title to the car.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't there. The truck wasn't there.
Whoa.
And I must have already been gone to the hospital.
Since Brittany's story is unwavering, the police decide that it's time to take another approach. But will this one be more effective than the last?
We make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. Okay? There's stuff that I do that I wish that I could take back, but I can't. But the most important thing is that we come in here and we correct our mistakes. And you understand what I'm saying? Good people, if you've done something wrong, or if you know somebody else has, may not be you. But if we've done something wrong, we come in here and we talk about it. And if you know anything, and let's get it and make it right. There's consequences now for the mistakes that we make. So if something happened, if you know something happened, if you were there, because the story you're telling us is not even close. We want to come in here and resolve this and get it taken care of the best way we can. We had somebody hurt badly. You're don't you seem like a good person. Nobody's in
Bro,
here
what
saying
the
you're a
fuck
bad person,
happened?
but what we're saying is something bad happened to somebody that you know. And we feel like you know what happened.
Still, Brittany sticks to her story. It was clear to detectives after the initial interviews on March 24th and the morning of the 25th that there were big gaps in everyone's timelines. Though those inconsistencies would aid them in their investigation, they needed some hard evidence and statements from others to take that next step toward actually arresting the prime suspects for attempted murder.
Gee, bro.
Luckily for investigators, there was plenty of evidence at the crime scene. Just off of Ashland Avenue, only 2 miles from the trailer park, was a gas easement set back in the woods. It was there where the most gruesome part of the crime against Adriana took place. Upon entering the easement, detectives came across tire tracks. When Tina's maroon SUV was taken in, it was found that the tires were a match for the tracks left at the scene of the
Whoa.
crime. And that wasn't the only evidence the car provided. Spots of blood were found on the dashboard of the car, smeared across the passenger seat headrest, and speckled throughout the back seat. At the easement where the car pulled off, signs of a struggle were evident. A crowbar sat in the grass with what appeared to be blood spatter peppered over the cold iron surface. Blood and ash were found to be pooled in various spots in the grass and dirt. Pieces of clothing, burnt to an absolute crisp, were found and identified as Adriana's. Her bra was nearly unrecognizable.
Whoa, that shit just gave me,
Also left at the scene, as well as a pair of white shoes. There was something else alongside the weapons and blood that may sound a bit familiar. Strands of a hair weave were strewn across the scene, and they didn't belong to Adriana.
You wear a weave?
My daughter was doing it today.
Is that a weave?
It's weave.
Weave.
Weave. Yeah.
Oh, it looks real.
Thank you.
Sheesh.
She do the little braids in it and everything? Or, I don't know. Does she do all that?
Yeah, this is my hair right here.
Oh, that's your, okay.
Yeah, she was just braiding these in, but it hurt. We've been doing it for about 3 or 4 days now, and it hurt.
Huh?
Whoa.
Can somebody grab me some toilet paper so I can blow my nose, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The police returned to the interview room about 30 minutes later. By now, it's around 2 in the morning, less than 12 hours after the 911 call was made. And they have a request that Tina may not even realize the importance.
Yup.
Tina, do me a favor, stand up, turn around. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Look at this right here. Oh, that's weave in there. That's weave in there. Yeah, take that out.
I told you that my daughter was...
Yeah. I didn't realize she was weaving all that in the back.
Yeah, so this is all my hair right here.
Okay. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work.
You see, the missing patch of hair on the back of Tina's head was a match for the hair left at the scene of the brutal attack. It's likely that as Adriana bravely fought for her life, she managed to pull out the chunk of Tina's hair. And if the matching hair wasn't damning enough, at the scene of the crime, investigators found perhaps the most critical piece of evidence in the case. a black taser lying in the grass, which brought up an important question. Who owned the taser? As you can imagine, no one from the mobile home park could quite agree on an answer, though they were eager to throw one another under the bus. The discussion of the taser gives...
Okay, now it makes sense. Okay. Now it makes sense. Oh, before I was told, you see how investigation... Okay, so her and her daughter did this shit. Got it.
Glimpse of the possible motive behind the gruesome crime, and provides a look.
But the other female knew too then.
Relationships were leading up to the attack on Adriana.
Everybody knew.
In Tina's first interrogation, mere hours after the attack, investigators ask if she recalls police visiting to speak to Adriana about problems in the trailer park the previous week.
You know, the police came out there last week to talk to her about the problems she had in her neighborhood.
Yeah, they talked to me too.
Okay. So you were there. What was the problem?
Her and another girl come out there to fight Adriana because Adriana was supposed to have gotten smart with her on the phone.
Okay.
And Adriana's boyfriend was there, Andre Smith, and he sent Adriana in the house. No, he came outside the house and he was saying that I was in the middle of that. I didn't even know the white girl. And then he said, he cussed all the kids out and me that was outside. And he told Adriana to go in the house and get that thing or whatever. She came back outside on the porch. She was on the porch cussing. And she came out in the walkway and she tried to tase my daughter.
Who tried to tase your daughter?
Adriana.
Adriana got a taser? What kind of taser?
I just think it was a black one.
A black one.
She said that,
You seen it?
Yeah, everybody out there saw it. I just know it's black.
Okay.
And it made a loud noise.
Okay.
Everybody out there saw it.
Heather has a different story about who owned the taser, however, and Tina isn't going to like it.
Does Brittany have any problems with Ariana?
Adriana had got into it and Adriana tried to tase her. That's all that Brittany had told me. Adriana, they had got into it and Adriana tried to tase her.
How long ago was this?
I think that was like 2-3 weeks ago.
With a 16-year-old daughter?
What kind of taser she got? Who had
How old is it? How old is
Brittany
he?
had a taser. Brittany had a taser.
Did the taser belong to Brittany?
I'm not sure.
What
Wait,
did the
how?
taser look like?
I seen it once before. It was big. It was long. It was a long taser. It was made what color? Black.
Okay.
It was black. It was probably about that long. It had like the little things on the side of it. I never seen the taser before. That was the first time I ever seen it. When I seen it.
How you know it was Brittany's?
Brittany had it, so I don't know.
Have you ever seen Brittany with that taser before this?
No, today was the first time I seen her with it.
You saw Tina today?
Today was the first time.
Today you saw Tina.
I seen Brittany with it on the counter earlier.
Today.
Earlier today.
Whoa.
They on the counter at her house.
And Tina's house.
Whoa.
And I seen that taser and I asked her, I said, what is that taser for? And they told me to stay out of grown folks' business.
What? Isn't she 16? What?
With an upward inflection. When she repeats her answers, it's clear that she's attempting to make them sound more affirmative and honest, and she's trying to solidify her story.
No, today was the first time I seen her with it. Today was the first time.
Today you saw Tina?
What?
Tina there?
Tina was
What?
outside.
She didn't hear us that?
No.
When you asked her about that?
Tina was outside. Tina always telling me to stay out of grown folks' business.
When the investigators returned,
Oh, it was Tina. Okay.
speaking with Heather,
Okay.
they had new
Now I get it.
information
Shit.
to use against her in their quest for answers.
We talked to you earlier about a taser.
I told you about taser.
What did you tell me about that taser?
That Brittany and the day that a white girl came over to fight Adriana, that Andre told Adriana to go get that thing, and she went in the house and got taser.
Okay.
To tase Brittany with it.
Okay. What about the taser that was over at your house today?
Taser at my house? I don't know about
You don't know about a taser at your house?
No.
I've been told about a taser at your house.
I didn't know it was there.
You don't know anything about it, huh?
Tina is extremely uncomfortable with this topic of conversation. She repeats back the question, which has the same sort of effect as a pause. It gives her more time to contemplate her answer. She keeps her hands perfectly placed in her lap, which is extremely atypical in normal conversation, and indicates she is in a state of cognitive overload as a result of having to think very hard about what she should say.
Artificial intelligence is creating music now that we can use in our videos. There's a website called...
We don't observe these types of responses in individuals who are volunteering information from actual memory. And her odd behavior certainly hasn't gone unnoticed.
That's crazy. That's crazy as hell.
She's telling me that she always has to protect Adriana from you and your daughter.
Whoa.
You and your daughter chasing around all over the place.
She like, damn, this bitch lied. This bitch snitching on me.
Your house today.
My baby don't have a taser. We never had a taser.
I don't know. That's what she's telling me. Why is she telling me that?
I don't know. We never had a taser, sir. Adriana had a taser. We never had a taser. My baby was tased.
Y'all stories are getting further and further apart.
Like I said, Adriana tried to tase Brittany with the taser. Brittany has a scratch across her chest right here. That I was grabbing Brittany from off the porch so that they wouldn't fight. I told you we were best.
Oh, it's them. Bro, it's them. She got the little scars. Her pinky. It's them. They the two ones that have like weird shit on them. Yeah, instantly. It's them two. I'm sure for that.
That's funny, because Heather says that her and Adriana are best friends, and that you and Adriana don't get along, and that you and Adriana are constantly having problems, and that you and your daughter have been chasing Adriana around this trailer park, trying to hurt her, and that you have a taser in your house. And that taser was Brittany's taser, and that Brittany had chased
when the police come out there. If you can check back when the police came out there, Adriana called the police that day.
Okay.
I told the police what happened. The same thing I'm telling you is that Adriana tried to tase Brittany with the taser. The same thing I'm telling you, Adriana called the police that day.
And you want to press charges?
No, what I say?
I don't know.
No, actually, no. They didn't even come out there to press charges. They told us to just cool it out. For us, stay on our side. For her to stay on that side. That's what
I talked to the officer who came out there that night.
Was supposed to be leaving town. She was not going to be here for long.
Right, because I talked to that officer. He told me exactly that. But he told me that Adriana did not wish to pursue charges against y'all.
Well, he never asked us about pressing charges. He just said for us to cool it out because he's tired of coming out here.
He didn't ask you because you weren't the one bringing forth the charges. She was.
Okay.
Why
would I bring charges? I didn't.
No, you weren't.
I know
she was going to bring charges against y'all for attacking her.
But we didn't attack her.
But
so
that's what she
needed
told.
Adriana's boyfriend.
Hold on, y'all. Let me go to the bathroom again. about to hit it over there. My grandmother's finished. So I'm gonna call you when I'm there. If you still around. Ooh. All right, we gotta finish this up.
Arguing, she wasn't even thinking about going to get a taser. He told her to go get that thing. We didn't know what that thing was until she came outside with it. I didn't know she had a taser.
Then why is Heather saying that she sees the taser in your house and that Brittany has it, and that Brittany over there cooking fish together? Either you got a good game or Tina does, because she's playing it off well. So, you know, me and Rusty sat there and laughed about that all night, but we couldn't figure out how you get away with that, man, because otherwise, you know, we'd be done. They'd have our cars and our boats and everything else, you know.
Oh, no.
So you getting away with it.
On May 10th, soon after Tina, Heather, and Brittany were arrested, the police received a letter from an incarcerated man who said he knew who killed Adriana and what the true motive was for the heinous crime. He stated that several months prior to the murder, he bought an illegal substance from Darren at the Roadway Inn. He alleged that Adriana was with Darren in the hotel room while the illegal transaction took place. According to him, Heather arrived and threatened Adriana with a box cutter, reportedly yelling that she would get Adriana sooner or later. Fortunately, their day in court came sooner rather than later. During the trial, it was revealed that the murder was even more disturbing than police could have imagined. Adriana had been lured to the trailer by Tina under the guise of rekindling their friendship. When she arrived, Tina used the stun gun on her and dragged her to the bedroom. There, Heather stuffed a sock in her mouth, and Brittany beat her. When they drove her to the woods, Brittany and Tina took turns tasing her until Tina poured gasoline on her and lit her on fire. According to Heather, as the fire started, Tina jumped up and down, exclaiming, "Burn, bitch, burn." Tina Brown received a death sentence for her crimes against her former friend, making her one of only 3 women on Florida's death row. Though Brittany was 16 at the time of the murder, she was sentenced to life in prison. Heather took a plea bargain, testifying against Tina in order to receive only 25 years for the second-degree murder
Always
she
gotta
was
snitch.
convicted of. At the time of this video, Tina has filed a motion to have her death sentence thrown out because of false testimony at her trial. According to Tina and a witness at the trial, the witness was coerced by Heather to testify that Tina had confessed to her in jail that she was the mastermind behind Adriana's murder. Heather reportedly threatened the witness, forcing her to say that Heather was present but had nothing to do with the murder. To this day, the former friends are spinning rumors about each other and trying to climb over one another to reach salvation. Only time will tell what the law will decide.
Fuck.
But one thing is for certain, this brutal yet petty crime against Adriana should never have.
Yeah, that should never happen. That shit was fucking crazy. 2 fucking friends, boy. Don't trust. Hey, watch these motherfuckers. Y'all motherfuckers real shit. Watch these motherfuckers. You never know. Feel me? Keep that back door open, but you know, be on point. I don't gotta say too much, but just be on point.